since the room's already gone quiet, I suppose it's a good enough time for us to start. What do you say here, folks? All right. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the city of Palm Coast, parents, supportive families, members of local government. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2021 and inaugural University of North Florida MedNexus Innovation Challenge. This is presented tonight by the UNF Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. It is my pleasure as a former college professor and current entertainer and educator here in Flagler County to be your host. My name is the young professor, Matt Grafer, and let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about what we are doing here tonight with our Innovation Challenge. The calls went out in August, just a few short months ago, to students in the North Central Florida region, anywhere from Volusia County, Flagler, St. John's, in order to see if students could come up with some pitches to foster some new ideas to help advance healthcare in a number of different ways. We'll talk about those, but we had 24 teams, or a total of 86 students, make their submissions and try to be a part of this. A lot of quality submissions in there, folks, but tonight the final 6 are here to make their pitches to all of you and to our judges, who we will talk about in just a moment. They've spent the entirety of the month of October working very, very vigorously with their mentors to be ready for what we have here tonight. So we want to make sure they have that opportunity to give their 7-minute pitches to each and every one of you. And we do have some scholarships to give away. Our third place team tonight, so 3 teams out of 6 will receive scholarships. Third place teams will be taking home $750 scholarships. Second place teams, $1,250 scholarships. And our first place teams here for the UNF MedNexus Innovation Challenge will receive $1,500 scholarships. That's a wonderful thing. So in order to properly welcome you, we want to introduce a few important folks who have helped make tonight possible. So allow me to welcome our first guest at this time. He is the Executive Director and CEO of MedNexus. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Dr. David Zemansky.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. You know, Matt says he does wrestling, so I thought he was going to start off by saying, "Are you ready to?" He didn't. He did. He's going to do it. He's going to save it for later on. But it's my honor to be here today. And so I'm the CEO of MedNexus. And really what we're talking about is getting people excited about medical careers. And how can we transform the future of healthcare? And one way we can get people excited is to reach down into the high schools and say, here's some potential careers. Here's what you could do. Here's a job opportunity. Here's a skill set that you want to master, you want to develop. You want to think about a career path, and healthcare is one of those career paths. And so we put out this challenge and thought about what can we do in terms of healthcare? What can we do with respect to technology? And we kind of gave it up to you as students. And you are right on point. In terms of the things that you thought about, the things that you thought about doing, the things that we needed to do to make healthcare better for everyone was really the things that we're going to hear about today. And I can't wait to hear about it. I really am excited. I read the abstracts. I'm sitting there and I'm telling everybody who's listening, and even those who won't listen, that this is really phenomenal. Your ideas are tremendous. They're transformative. You know, it's going to be a hard job for the judges, so we're going to need many bottles of water, probably a little bit of caffeine, but it's going to be a great day. And so I want to thank some people. I want to thank Flagler Schools and our superintendent, Kathy Middleset. She is really phenomenal. Let's give her a round of applause. I want to thank also our partners in AdventHealth, Wally D'Aquino and his team. Wally. I want to thank the people who have mentored, not only AdventHealth, but Impower, as well as our own UNF College of Computing, Engineering, and Construction Science. And so everybody's here to help everybody. And when we think about what we're doing, we're learning. We're learning from one another. We get to meet people who can help us in life, but also share perspectives. And there's an important person who's really been instrumental in terms of the idea, organizing this thing, following through on this. And it's really our person who's in charge of global partnerships, and she's also in charge of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at UNF, and that's Karen Bowling. Karen, where are you? Karen's in the back. But Karen is phenomenal, and so without her, we couldn't get it done. And I also want to thank the mayor for not only serving as a judge, but he gave up the coin toss at the potato bowl today to be here with us today and really kind of stand behind the city and stand behind the students who are in there. So I'm going to turn this over to, I think the mayor's after me, But I really want to thank you, and I also want to, because I won't probably get the chance later, to really thank the parents. Because your support, what you do for your students, and what I see in terms of their skills and their capabilities is really a reflection of your mentoring, your nurturing, to really stand behind them and be with them, and to really show them the value of education, and to help them, encourage them to also think about our problems, but not only be problem solvers, but be solution oriented. So I want to thank you for all that you're doing. So let's give the parents a round of applause before we introduce the mayor. And so lastly, Mayor Alfin, who's been a tremendous partner with us, and I know he's a great mayor, and I know you all enjoy him. Let him say a few words. Thank you, Mayor Alfin.
Thank you, Dr. Szymanski. So it's my turn now to welcome everyone and to bring all of that frivolity down to a level which is more academic in its demeanor. My staff keeps me on a very short leash, so they have some comments I'll make, but more importantly than these comments, do we have students in the room now? Our students are outside now? Are they here? Are they outside or they're inside? I'm sorry? They're outside. So I want the audience to please understand that, I don't know how many of you watch Shark Tank or watch shows like that, but you need to understand that they are stepping forward. The anxiety that they feel, the excitement that they feel, the opportunity that they feel is this high right now. So please, together, help them enjoy this moment. This is a very special moment in the history of our city of Palm Coast. We've not had this before. Hopefully we will do it forever going forward. But let me go with my comments and say, when I was a young boy, I remember my parents often asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And in turn, when I became a parent, I asked my own children the very same question. The standard answers given all those years ago were doctor, teacher, fireman, and these, of course, are admirable choices. At the risk of sounding ancient, times have truly changed if parents of the students participating today in this MedNexus Innovation Challenge ask me the same question, they'd most likely hear the answer like technology, entrepreneur, or possibly problem-solving telecommunicator. Healthcare problems for our future. They represent our brightest, most highly motivated students who believe their futures lie right here in Palm Coast. And I'm proud to state to all of you that they epitomize what will soon become our new community of innovators. What these students are indicating is the vital need for us to retain a well-trained workforce of professionals to meet our growing medical requirements. As mayor, I welcome this challenge along with our new satellite regional epicenter that will change the dynamics of our city. MedNexus provides a pipeline directly from educating our students at local educational institutions to careers that fill needs in nursing, mental health, technology, and social work at our hospitals. Two additional components complete the success of this challenge. First, at the close of the event, 3 teams will be awarded cash prizes, and I think we've gone through that for their efforts. Optimistically, they'll use their winnings towards local university tuition to further their educational goals. Also, UNF will work with the winning teams who wish to further develop their ideas to offer an opportunity to consult with their Center for Entrepreneurship. Second, we wish to recognize the mentors to these students. Local industry experts from the University of North Florida, AdventHealth, have been assisting teams with laying out and presenting their practical theories. In so doing, they themselves possibly learned a new, refreshingly inventive strategies from our youths. This is a certainly win-win situation for all. In closing, I wish to thank UNF's MedNexus professionals who've chosen our city as the home for this innovation challenge. I proudly endorse our community's youth as they succeed in showcasing their most novel, real-world concepts for our future, moving swiftly from classroom to careers right here in their own hometown. Absolutely nothing could be better for Palm Coast. My last comment, I want to make sure I thank all of our city staff. Our city staff has come together, the blood, sweat, and tears of putting on such a momentous event are I don't have the words to express them, but please give them a round of applause. Thank you, and good luck to all of the challengers this evening.
One more time for Mayor David Alfin, everybody here, Mayor of the City of Palm Coast. We have one more speaker that has a few words before we begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her at this time. She is the Superintendent of Flagler Schools, Ms. Kathy Middlestat.
Thank you. And as a teacher, I like to be in the mix of everything. So if I'm okay stepping forward, I don't know if the mic, I probably don't even need the mic, so I got a little classy voice. First of all, it is an honor to serve as a superintendent for Flagler Schools. And at the end of the day, it's all about our students. And anytime we have an opportunity to leverage our local resources, we absolutely are going to open our arms and welcome those partnerships in, because we know the value of those partnerships create opportunities for our kids. So that cliche, it takes a village, it takes a community. And what puts Flagler Schools at the top of being an innovative learning environment is how we leverage our partnerships. So I can't thank UNF enough for all you're doing and what you're bringing here to Palm Coast and the city of Palm Coast, and Mayor Alfin for everything that we're doing to bring these resources together and align them for our students to have opportunities. And I'm just really excited. This came out of a 30-minute meeting back in June where Ed Foundation Director Joe Rizzo said, hey, you need to come meet someone. They had these innovative ideas, and this is what we want to do with our kids. And so it was pitched at that time what we had thought forward, how we want to engage our kids. And from that, I've got to thank her in the back. Ms. Rowland, you did everything. You put all this together, and we just are so appreciative. There was a team, I know, that's the way it works. But I'm so excited to see what the kids can do tonight. And the partnerships, the coaching they've received, we are trying to make sure that students leave our school system with skills to help them be competitive in the workforce and go on to college. And that's leadership, and that's collaboration, and that's teamwork, and that's being able to be bold and have ideas, but also to work with professionals out there for guidance along the way. And this innovative challenge gave all of that to our students who are participating this evening. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to see this innovative challenge kick itself off. And thank you again to all the partners that made this event possible. Good luck, students. I can't wait to see what we're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Middlestat. You know, speaking of that, in my excitement to get us off the ground and rolling here, I did not manage to say thank you to some of our partners here tonight specifically. But we'd like to say thank you, of course, to our friends with Flagler Schools, the City of Palm Coast, and a big thank you to our mentor organizations, AdventHealth, Impower, and UNF's College of Computing, Engineering, and Construction. Please put your hands together for all of our partners. All right, we know these students have some pitches. Let's find out who has their fate in their hands tonight. I'd like to introduce you to our judges this evening. Judges, I know you're kind of nicely, neatly in your seats there. You just give a little wave to the crowd, if you will. First, she's the director for the Center of Aging Research at UNF. Please welcome Dr. Cynthia Williams. The SCORE Palm Coast director, David Ferguson. Flagler County's Economic Development Manager, Dolores Key. The Head of Teaching and Learning at Flagler Schools, LaShaka Moore. And pulling double duty tonight, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of the City of Palm Coast, David Alfin. All right, our students are going to be coming and doing pitches in 3 different content areas. The areas of advancing telemedicine, improving mental health services in young adults, and enhancing soft skills in healthcare. We are going to kick it off, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for your first pitch? Well, let's hope they are too. At this time, let's welcome our first group in the advancing telemedicine category. They are known as Endovelicus.
Can you hear me? So, hello and everyone. So we're group Endovelicus, and our company aims to revolutionize the world of telemedicine. So, did you know that 100% of cancer is preventable, according to the University of Kansas? And so, additionally, 40% of annual deaths from the top 5 most common death sources are also preventable in the US. And so our company aims to reduce that number. Personally, our company will impact strongly the lives of many people, including with our patch, HO1 patch, which will prevent many diseases. Additionally, there's a strong personal motivation for all of us, including myself, because many of our close ones could have been saved by this technology if it existed at a certain point, including my grandma, which died of cancer a couple years ago.
All right, so before we get into some of the technical details, we're going to go a very high-level overview. So what is our company's advantage? And that would be time. So what do I mean by that? We collect long-term data on the human body, and then we use that to make predictions using the large quantities of data and machine learning. So our technical aspirations over a long period of time is to have the largest medical database, to have that filled with long-term data on user health, and then be able to have cause-effect testing capability on that. So products. Our company can be thought of in 2 phases. So to start off, we have the ERP phase, which stands for Endovelicus Research Platform. And this is a research platform, obviously, there we go. And this will be a partnership with established healthcare providers. Basically, it's a subsidized R&D phase where we develop our hardware and software while also benefiting the hospitals and kind of target those with chronic illnesses. And those would, that would be most benefited from our technology. So moving on, using all of that with that R&D, we get to phase 2, which is our mass market consumer grade non-intrusive patch. You can see a potential example on the screen. We haven't finalized the design, but that's just a sense. So this would be constant data collection. It would be placed on a user's back, and we're going to get into some of the functionality and use of it now.
So the HO1 patch will record data constantly, which means it will automatically track activities such as sleep and exercise. The data it collects will also be shared with healthcare professionals. And all of the information that the patch collects for your body will be transformed into personalized suggestions to improve your lifestyle. The results the app makes will mostly be focused on maximizing your life. It will provide you with workout suggestions, with foods to eat or avoid, etc. Another important function of the patch will be its ability to identify diseases, which will be showed in the results together with the actions to take in order to prepare for and prevent those diseases. This way, the patch will hopefully increase life expectancy.
Cool. So to discuss those predictions a little bit more, we'll be using machine learning models to identify patterns and to make predictions on this data, where we started out in the research phase, where we collected some of that data, and then we were able to validate our algorithms using professionals to validate that. And then as we move into mass market, then we'll be able to use less and less actual humans to validate our data and just focus on them for high-risk predictions. So any actual like health events, potential cardiac arrest, or any like serious health events can be validated by human. But other than that, just the low impact like what should I eat today, diet to improve my life, what should I work out, that kind of stuff. That can just be from the machines. So then we'll be able to reduce the demand on doctors and such to provide healthcare. Yeah, and then data will be our moat. So what we mean by that is as we have a huge potential customer base, once we have customers, we'll collect data from those customers, and then obviously as we have so much data, it'll be difficult for another company to collect that data as we already have the customers. So some selected details about it. We'll have 70 battery life, magnetically positioned wireless charging, very low profile, very low power draw due to the lack of screen, comfortable, life-proof, available in colors to match skin or stand out, an array of sensors including permanent high-quality dry electrodes and some other things.
All right, so now we're going to get into a couple of the add-ons of our patch. So for our athletes and our athletic programs, we have a sports package. This kind of helps specify what the patch's purpose is and how it's constructed. Along with, we have our chronic disease package for a couple patients who suffer from chronic diseases. And of course, we're going to have additional future packages for any other patients with any other circumstances of which we need to address. So now we're going to kind of go into the impact of what our patch is. So what is our goal? And our goal is to, as you can see on the slideshow presentation, it is to improve, our mission is to improve the health of those we serve. So by saying that, we want to help to prevent disease. We want to help better the lifestyle of everybody. And overall, we just want to make this patch the most impactful telemedicine advancement that we can make possible. So what are we doing in order to achieve those goals? Here we're limiting some of the effort that is needed to diagnose patients. We're also going to make it more financially accessible for those because finance is always playing a role into how we get healthcare nowadays. And we're also going to be using our technology to help limit the doctoral visits that we're going to have in the future to kind of take the stress off of patients and to kind of take the stress off of doctors as well.
So 3 main ways this technology will impact the community are, first, the advanced sensors in HO1 will increase the speed and accuracy of diagnosis. Second, the 5-year warranty will help sustain the product and allow customer satisfaction. Third, the data collected by the device will process and properly provide lifestyle feedback to patients.
So the backbone of every successful company is its financial model. And so our financial model is subscription-based. So our initial sale for customers is $3,000, and that is minus our manufacturing costs, we will net 50% profit margin. So additionally, we have the largest database in the world, considering our patch collects so much data. And we also have a subscription model that ranges from $25 to $250, and so that would be including the add-ons and other features and abilities. So to give you some quick numbers, we would approximate our target market to be mostly people with chronic illnesses. So that's 1/3 of the American population. So if we calculate to about 85% of that 1/3 to be interested in our product, our max kind of level of consumer and profitability, is around $500 billion, and we would also net $8 billion in subscriptions. And to take it down in a smaller scale, everyone knows the local Orlando AdventHealth center, and so they have around 8,000 beds, and so if they sold our product to their customers, then we would still net $3 million net profit.
Okay, so to just touch on security quickly, because obviously something that's collecting this much data needs to be secure. Obviously encryption no matter what, that's pretty obvious. As well as that, we'll have policies to incentivize good behavior from clients, and we're defining clients as those who have access to users' data. So obviously healthcare professionals, but we could start to see other things with insurance and some other future potential companies, which could also expand our revenue stream, as with such a data set, we could potentially ethically sell that to others to advance healthcare. Yeah, so we're going to have to incentivize good behavior through a variety of different things. basically, the number one thing is that getting access to a user's data is a privilege, and it needs to only increase the user of whoever the client is, their experience with that company. Then some other things, we plan to use the blockchain to ensure client lists. That will be just ensuring that the client should have access to it based on the global ledger, which is obviously very difficult to fake, and then large number of subsystems in that. Here's a little diagram of our authentication handshake, which just is one of the aspects to ensure elevated air is secure.
So in conclusion, our company aims to further the world into a more advanced type of healthcare and a more connected style of lifestyle. So we will do this through mostly our HO1 patch, and we will be in advance of our main competitors, which are Amwell and Teladoc. And so basically, our main goal is to prevent or fight against and tackle one of our biggest contemporary problems, which is our aging population. Ever since the last 50 years, our population has been aging in a very major way, and we're trying to tackle that issue. Thank you. Mr.
So are you ready for questions now?
Of course.
Okay, well, I'll start off lightly with you. You have presented a most fascinating business plan and model with incredible vision. As our superintendent so well pointed out earlier, these kind of things happen because of a team effort. So my question is, just briefly, how did you find each other, and do you intend to stay together as the core of your vision for the future?
Okay, thank you. So how we kind of found each other is that we're all part of the club called Junior Chamber of Commerce, which I founded. And I also know Daniel and Dylan from us being in the same FPC IB class. But yeah, our main connection is the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and we plan on continuing this effort and getting contacts through our mentor, Ms. Bard, UNF, and Mr. Blose here. Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
I'm curious about the name of the company. Where did that come from?
So Endovelicus is actually the Greek god of vegetation. So we kind of thought that it would fit like the overall healthiness, nutrient lifestyle that we're kind of trying to bring over to the future of telemedicine. So
Thank you.
little creative name, you know.
I learned something.
Of course.
So great idea. I love the concept of you bringing together two really important concepts. One is chronic disease management, older adults, and then using big data and predictive analytics. So as we look at our older adult population, you're right, they are getting older. How do you, or what strategies do you think would be effective in marketing this product to older adults or their physicians?
Okay, so obviously we'll start out with a partnership with established healthcare providers. So I think that will be our first big leverage because assuming we're successful with that, which obviously we intend to be, it'll be a huge benefit to them and hospitals and healthcare providers will want to recommend our product to such. Other than that, we can do traditional marketing. I think that our goal is for our product to be so good that marketing is not really that much of an issue and it spreads more with word of mouth. And it's more like you know someone that has it that was helped so much by it that you're like, there you go. It's also not very expensive. I don't know if we had said, but it was going to retail for $3,000. So.
I'd actually like to add on a little bit. We would also, in our second phase, like to launch an IPO and get investors from Silicon Valley. This idea has drawn a lot of attention, and there's been like a lot of thoughts towards that. So we will definitely draw a lot of interest and then try to draw from their marketing strategies and data.
Thank you.
What type of platform will the patients use in order to access their information, and what type of customer support is available to these populations without giving out all of their personal information to access that information?
Yeah, so I'll go back through quickly. We had shown, there we go. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a mock-up of our app. We'll have an app, and it will all the data will be cloud-based, so any technology that one has can log into an account. And as we said, obviously security is very important. So encryption and using some of the latest technology such as the blockchain to validate everything. And then for those that I guess aren't that interested in knowing live, obviously there'll be suggestions, but they'll be able to share it with their healthcare provider already. We'll make sure to make it very easy for anyone to get access, not to get access to it, but to use it. So basically it'll be like just sharing a link. It's just there'll be lots of security there. So their established healthcare provider will be able to just pull up all of their data really quickly in a secure way, and then they'll be able to access it from their computer or their phone or wherever.
And additionally, we will also be able to set appointments with our own staff, and they would be able to manage a lot of people because of our algorithm that we've developed. So our algorithm would help our staff kind of suggest ways and kind of give that one-on-one feel that many people would like, especially on the health side.
Okay, good.
That is all the time that we have. But ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for our first presenters here from Endovelicus. Should note they are representing Flagler Palm Coast High School, so FPC students right here. All right. Give them a chance to reset the computer here as we welcome our next group. Again, pitching here in the area, the content area of Advancing Telemedicine. This group represents Creekside High School. Please at this time, ladies and gentlemen, welcome LunaCare.
Good evening. I'm Melissa Buckingham.
I'm Helen Doe.
I'm Ayeshiel Hens.
I'm Ryan Flack. And I'm Ashley Stanley. And we are LunaCare.
We're so excited to share LunaCare with you today. In the current healthcare market, there isn't a widespread platform that allows patients to connect with doctors based on sociocultural factors. We are seeking to address the issue of doctors not being the perfect fit for a specific patient. This is due to an area's array of doctors not understanding a patient's specific racial or ethnic background or specializing in a patient's specific need. According to a research study conducted from 2014 to 2017 by Penn Medicine researchers on surveys from 120,000 patients, it was decided that doctors who share the same racial or ethnic background as their patients are more likely to receive the maximum patient rating score. As you all may know, Florida has a large Spanish-speaking population, but unfortunately there exists a language barrier preventing many Hispanic and Latino populations from seeking out healthcare or understanding their medical history. This is a part of the problem that LunaCare will aim to fix.
LunaCare will help improve patient-physician virtual interactions, as well as encourage a diverse patient population. In addition, patients are able to search for healthcare professionals that are based on a variety of criteria. This includes race, sexual orientation, nationality, language, religion, medical history, insurance provider, interests, hobbies, and more. With this profile of criteria, patients are able to find healthcare specialists that are more attuned to their needs.
When patients first enter our LunaCare platform, they can either sign in as an existing member or create a new account.
As seen here, new members enter general information to create their account.
Once patients create their profile, they're directed to our patient form. Our patient form consists of questions pertaining to LunaCare's proprietary matching algorithm. Then they can link their existing EHR.
When looking for doctors, patients are brought to LunaCare's search engine page. Our filtering system allows patients and doctors to match in accordance with appointment times, personal profiles, and insurance or lack thereof.
After meeting with the physician based off their patient profiles, patients can leave honest reviews on their visits. Patients can comment on their doctor's soft skills and interactions so that other demographics of patients can meet with these doctors.
For an immediate diagnosis, patients can access LunaCare's Quick Health Hotline.
LunaCare is more personal and more tailored to certain patient demographics, which allows it to help a broader number of people. Although there are other platforms that match patients to doctors, LunaCare considers specific cultural factors as well as the patient's interests, which creates a more complete profile. Because of this matching, patients will connect and relate more to their doctors, which prevents discomfort and eases the interaction between doctor and patient. LunaCare also caters to those without insurance or those who may not live in proximity to visit a healthcare provider, which increases the number of users and accessibility of our platform.
LunaCare's direct competitor is SteadyMD, who also uses a patient matching system. Our indirect competitor is Teladoc, who does not use a patient matching system, but is the largest and most experienced telemedicine provider in the US. All three companies offer 24/7 nationwide coverage, but what sets LunaCare apart is that we match patients and doctors based on social, cultural factors.
LunaCare will also offer a monthly subscription service in addition to our one-time appointment option. This will consist of 3 tiers. Our Gold tier, which costs $125 a month, and our patient is given unlimited visits. Our Silver tier, which costs $62 a month, and our patient is allotted 30 visits over the course of a year. Our Bronze tier, which costs $42 a month, and our patient is given 20 visits over the course of the year. These visits can be used for primary care, mental health appointments, emergency appointments, and appointments with other specialists. For families, pricing is per member, unless the family has 5 or more members, in which case the family will receive a 10% discount on their pricing.
Healthcare providers will be able to advertise their doctors through search engine optimization, which is where doctors can pay to be higher in their search results when patients are searching for a specific doctor. In addition, insurance companies can buy packages from us on a PMPM or per member per month model, based on what healthcare plan that they provide to their clients. Lastly, uninsured patients or one-time patients can also use LunaCare by paying a service fee of $45 and then paying directly to the doctors. So we profit from healthcare providers, insurance companies, and uninsured patients.
LunaCare's target demographic will be women ages 25 to 50. A study from Kaiser Family Foundation from 2017 found that mothers make 79% of the decision when it comes to selecting their kid's doctor and take them to 77% of appointments. As mothers tend to be the organizers for healthcare in their family, they will make up a lot of our users. We will have 203.4 million potential customers based on data from Pew Research Center on the number of people with access to internet and smartphones at home. Our lowest annual contract value is $500. So our total addressable market is $101.7 billion.
All in all, LunaCare is necessary for the future of patient comfort. LunaCare ensures that marginalized groups can receive the personalized health care they deserve. LunaCare, finding the best care for you.
So if I may, a question. You mentioned that as internet technology advances throughout all corners of the country and the world for that matter, you're interested in making contact with, I think you used the word, marginalized groups. So will your group reinforce or create awareness in rural and less economically developed areas?
Our group model is, it specifically targets people like that, I think, in most case scenarios. As I said earlier, one of the things we do is help people who may not have access to a healthcare provider that's nearest to them. So our model lets them see people who can connect with them and help them even though they may not already have direct access.
I'm impressed by the amount of marketing attention you gave to your presentation. Who's the marketing guru amongst you?
I also was very impressed that you were looking at an unmet need and were able to address what the need was up front and be able to address a need that had not been met. And that you were focusing and targeting that very, very specifically, that you weren't all things to all people, but you looked at a need, you filled that need, and were able to go after that. Very good job.
Where is the patient information stored? Because if I'm hearing you correctly, a patient could essentially visit one doctor this month, another doctor the next month. How does the doctor or the patient access their information?
So our platform, we use an EHR, or an electronic health record. So all of the patient's medical history and notes will be on there. So every doctor will have access to that from their patient profile, so they can see their past medical history or make any new notes so that any other healthcare professionals can help them.
And I would assume that all of this would be able to be compatible with phones, and most people, right, as opposed to just on computer type stuff, right?
When you say that all doctors would have access to all patients' information, can you give us a little bit more information about that?
We obviously don't want random doctors accessing patients' records, so there would be a secure access point. So once you choose a doctor, that one doctor will have the access to your records at that time.
I think this presentation does, and this technology does a great job of addressing many of the health disparities we have in our society in terms of social determinants of health. One area that was briefly mentioned was those that were uninsured. Many times they don't have access into the system. How would you market to them, and how would they gain access to something like this?
So for most people, you may not have access to internet through computers and laptops, but most people do have phones, and that's where we can market that to. And although they can't afford healthcare, or if they can't afford other healthcare, they would come to us because of our personalization. I think our level of specification and comfort that we can provide to these marginalized groups would make us a better fit than just going to somewhere else for healthcare.
I believe that's all the time we have for questions and answers, but one more time, ladies and gentlemen, please put them together for LunaCare. All right, we do have one more pitch group here in the area of advancing telemedicine, but before I bring them out, just a quick reminder, because I've heard it a couple of times. Teacher in me is telling me to let you all know, please make sure you silence your cell phones. It's easy for me to get up here, but these kids are shaking in their boots. They don't look like it. They're very good, I'll say that. But let's not give them any additional distractions, all right? Thank you very, very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our third and final group in the area of advancing telemedicine. Please welcome from Flagler Palm Coast High School, the group known as Holodrone.
Long gone are the times where telehealth is defined by virtual calls with your doctor.
As many of you know, we are living in the digital age, a period where innovation and technology have become first nature. In modern-day society, we have watches that can monitor your heart rate and apps that range from providing mental health techniques to using artificial intelligence to diagnose skin conditions.
We are a group of entrepreneurial juniors from Flagler Palm Coast High School who are passionate about working to improve modern healthcare. My name is Lizelle Pear.
I'm Christina Wynn.
I'm Ramira Louisant.
I'm Jared Foley.
And I'm Destiny Ruiz. Currently, drones are being used to deliver medical supplies to emergency situations before medical personnel like EMTs can arrive on scene.
Holodrone focuses on what happens before the EMT can arrive. When the supplies are delivered to those in need, many people may not know what to do with them. Holodrone aims to fix this issue.
Our product, Holodrone, utilizes holographic technology to display instructional videos on our medical supplies that are being sent, therefore leaving the recipient not confused. This can be life-changing and benefit many lives.
How many of you know how to use a defibrillator? Now, how many of you work in a medical or healthcare profession? I can see not as many hands went up, so if someone here went into cardiac arrest and no one knew what to do, how would they get help? Well, our Holodrone is the solution.
We are now going to show a quick demonstration of our holographic technology. This demonstration is showing how the drone would demonstrate how to use a defibrillator when it arrives on scene. Please note that this is only a proof of concept, as we do not have the materials to create the actual holographic technology we would use.
Once the drone arrives with the medical supplies, it would then use the integrated holographic software, which uses realistic laser holographic technology. This software would be able to project automatically once it arrives at its destination. A user would be provided with buttons to press when if they need to pause the video or go back if they missed instructions. This is made possible because current holographic technology is being developed to be on a small processor that could even be run on a cell phone. This is why we got our idea to integrate it into a drone.
Our unique value proposition is that Holodrones offer cutting-edge auditory and visual 3D instructional displays with efficient delivery of medical equipment.
In emergency situations, such as natural disasters and sudden life-threatening circumstances, there is a need to decrease the amount of time taken for vital equipment and personnel to arrive on scene. The current use of telehealth drones achieves this, but what is the purpose if people don't know how to use the delivered supplies? Imagine if our product, the Holodrones, was here during Hurricane Katrina. Our drones could navigate through the destruction and flooding streets to deliver medical supplies and instructions where vehicles and people cannot.
Additionally, Holodrones directly benefit rural areas. An average rural American lives 10.5 miles from the nearest hospital. In medical areas where medical aid might not be accessible due to range or other obstacles, Holodrones supplies those in need and is accessible and convenient. This is why Holodrones is an important need for those who want to address emergency response medicine.
Potential customers include 911 operating centers, pharmaceutical companies, and public health sectors of the government, since these facilities typically respond during a medical emergency.
In order to ensure that our project, Holodrones, would meet its goal of advancing telehealth, we reached out to those who would work directly alongside it. Starting locally, we reached out to nurse Danielle Scarcella, who is an ER nurse at Halifax Hospital in Daytona. She also teaches nursing at Daytona State College. She described our product as life-saving and that it provides an easier way to explain things to those who may lack medical knowledge. To broaden our search, we reached out to Nurse Ridenauer from Westchester Medical Center in New York. She believes that our product is essential and much needed in order to improve patient outcomes.
There are very few direct competitors for the Holodrone, as everyone that we would compete with focuses strictly on the delivery of supplies. Companies that do regularly scheduled deliveries, such as PillPack and Capsule, do standard ground shipping, while the Holodrone would deliver via air, significantly reducing the time it takes for supplies to get to people that need them. When it comes to emergency operations, the Holodrone both delivers supplies and instructs the user how to use those supplies, giving us an edge above the competition.
If we were to dominate our total addressable market, we could make approximately $70 million and profit $32 million of that $70 million. We derived this number by searching up how many hospitals or 911 centers there were in the United States and how many counties or statistically similar areas in the nation there were, combined these numbers, and then multiplied them by our base price of the drone, which is $7,500.
As Jared stated earlier, one of our main competitors was delivery services, another being internet tutorials. Some may ask, what is the point of implementing our Holodrones if one can just search it up on their digital device? The distinct differentiation between Holodrones and internet tutorials is that Holodrones offer simultaneous videos when arriving to the scene.
For example, in nerve-wracking emergency situations, people do not have the time to search up these tutorials and many times freeze. This is what Holodrone takes away from this time by implementing automatic audio and visual aid on scene.
The primary source of income for Holodrone would be through the direct sale of our product to emergency centers and to government agencies such as FEMA. Once we would sell the drone to them, we would then establish a continuous payment plan with them for insurance, maintenance, and upgrades to the drone as they became available.
Additionally, as a second source of revenue, Holodrones will be contracted out to pharmaceutical companies. Customers of these companies will have the option to deliver via Holodrone, decreasing delivery time and providing instructions for the medical supplies being given. We will receive a percentage of the profit each time a delivery is made via Holodrone.
We are Holodrones, and we thank you for your time. We would like to give a big thanks to all of our mentors and teachers who helped us alongside. Now we are opening for questions.
So here in our city of Palm Coast, our first responders adhere to a special time number, 6.5 minutes. If they are able to be on site or on scene to assist a patient in less than 6.5 minutes, it has a much better patient outcome. It saves lives. So my question to you is, do you think you can better that 6.5 minutes?
Yes, I do. When we were thinking of this project, it has been shown that currently drones can get there in about 4 to 5 minutes-ish before EMTs arrive. And Jared is actually a drone specialist, so he can talk about drone times.
So one of the major benefits of using a drone over standard EMTs is that the drone can fly directly to the person and doesn't have to abide by any roadways or any system or traffic. So there's nothing to get in the way of the drone getting there. Drones can also be launched in under 40 seconds from when the call comes in, allowing it to get there far before an EMT could.
Would y'all be providing instructions as far as flight, how to maneuver the drones?
Yes, ma'am. So the software that goes along with the drone is programmed to go wherever you go via standard GPS.
So one of the features of your presentation included some testimonials from healthcare professionals. Whose idea was it to get that part of the presentation?
Actually, we kind of thought of it together as like a whole entire group, but we reached out to our teacher, Miss Frederick. She actually is here in the audience, and she was the one who was able to get us to connect with these medical professionals that could input on our project.
Thank you.
So who came up with this idea? It's wonderful.
Honestly, we all came up with it as a group, really. It kind of started out as a class project for some of us, but me and Jared aren't in the medical class at our school, but Lizelle reached out to us and she was like, hey, there's this really cool offer. Would you like to join? And we totally agreed.
I also want to add, so what we stated earlier about the drone times and such, so like Christina stated earlier, during natural disasters such as hurricanes, roads can sometimes be blocked, so the Holodrones, unlike EMTs, can fly, and it's more convenient. So yes, great question, thanks for asking.
All right, if that is all we have for questions, they have given you all the answers. Give it up one more time for Holodrone. All right, folks. Now we're going to move into our second content area. Remember, there are 3 of them, so that was our third and final group there in telemedicine. Now we are going to switch our focus to the concept behind improving mental health services for young adults. So that is a very hot topic in this day and age, particularly in health services. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, they are representing Christmas Monastery School Online. Please welcome the group known as Town Square Acoustic Dome. Then that's out of order. My mistake. They'll be after them. From Flagler Palm Coast High School, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the group known as Ventor.
Hi, I'm Derek Mollenbrock.
I'm Hudson Barrick.
I'm Zachary Soares.
And I'm Shifa Ali.
And today we're going to be presenting Ventor. Have you ever felt sad, lost, need to talk to someone, or just get something off your chest? Then Ventor is for you. Ventor is a mental health app that is aimed towards young adults to make them feel happy, make them feel like they are worth it, and to let them know there are people out there that do care for them. Ventor consists of 24/7 online counseling, the ability to give yourself goals through exercising, and have the option whether you want to be anonymous or not. All you need to access Ventor is an electronic device, whether that be a phone, an iPad, or even a computer, and you're all set to accessing Ventor. On the home page, you'll see a variety of options, that being your profile, your group messages, your exercises, and settings. And on the top right corner, you will see a phone icon that allows you to call 911. Just press and hold the button for 2 seconds, and that'll allow you to have a pop-up question that says, do you want to call 911 with a confirm or deny option. Clicking on profile will give you information such as your name, the date that you joined, your friends list, and a description box to tell a little bit more about yourself if you so choose, and the option whether you want to be anonymous or not.
When you click chats, you will see 3 choices: mentoring line, group chats, and one-on-ones. The one-on-one chats are you and another user. Group chats will show up with a multitude of choices. With only 10 per server, you have options from I'm feeling down to I need to rant somewhere. Our mentoring line is here to connect you to a therapist. Now, how that works is a little bit different from other chats. You will insert your specified credentials, such as your insurance, which is how you're paying, your phone number, and email address. Once you submit your information, you'll be provided with a code via email or text. Once you've received the code, type it into the pop-up, and you will be put into a waiting room screen where the therapist can chat with you. In your settings, you'll find where you can change the app appearance to dark or light mode. You can choose what goes into your profiles that others will see, as long as you're not anonymous. And if you click My Account, you can take you to a page where you can change your password, phone number, email, and more. Ventor also provides exercises, such as breathing exercises to keep you calm, as well as physical exercises with step-by-step videos. You can find a way to help yourself become the best you.
As surprising as it might sound, only about 20% of the young adult population has a mental health disorder. Our goal is to lessen the number of no treatment to 50%. If we were to get bigger, we would want to dramatically change the number. We would also want to help others find treatment to get better mentally and become more aware of themselves, others, and their feelings. In the beginning, we would have to pay a small fee of $25 to add our app to the App Store. And then every year, we would have to pay $99 to keep it on the App Store. We would also have to spend $320 to run each server every month. So in order to run the app for a single month, it would cost around $444. With liability and employee health benefits, it would all come out to a total of around $11,600. Our therapists would be subcontracted, so they would make their money through our app. Our site manager would be paid monthly of around $12,000, which yearly would come out to around a total of $144,000. The coder would be paid roughly $350 an hour, so an 8-hour job would come out to around $2,800. With salaries, our total cost of $11,600 would come out to a new cost of around $2,500, $2,050, $400,000 a year.
So we plan on selling a 3-tier VIP package as well as merchandise like bottles that will be $12 and shirts that will run for $27. Our first tier package would have a monthly fee of $8 and users would receive a bag with 2 items of their choice. The second tier package would cost $10 and monthly $10 monthly, and users get to choose 3 items and receive it in a mini basket. The third tier package is a monthly fee of $20, and users get to choose up to 4 items and receive a gift box. Each tier has a variety of items to choose from, but the more pricier the tier is, the more items they get to choose and receive. So when we took a look at our SWOT analysis, we saw as a huge strength is that we are able to help increase access to therapists and getting help for those who really need it. The biggest weakness thus far are individuals who are unable to get to an electronic device to utilize our app. Our opportunities are absolutely huge. We can increase the percentage of people who are getting therapy or help in any way. As for our threats, we have the big companies and therapists. In addition, MoodFit is our biggest threat. MoodFit is an app for journaling and charting to improve mental health. So with the start of a new era, new findings every day with this pandemic, our app can help assist those who have felt lost during this time. Young adults are able to avail of this app in any way to talk to others or calm themselves down in a brand new way.
With that being said, we would like to thank you all for your time and consideration.
So a question, you discuss a very real and serious problem in our community and communities throughout. Do you see a future collaboration or partnership perhaps with local hospitals and local healthcare networks?
We did talk about it, and we do actually see ourselves doing it with the hospital.
I think it's a great idea, not only just because of COVID and what we've gone through and some of the anxiety and depression, but we see that in general that mental health challenges are on the rise, so I think it's very timely. So in light of some of the threats that you had mentioned, how is this product different than the competitors?
Our product would offer access to it wherever, whenever. It'd also allow you to contact or talk with a mentor or somebody else that's on the app for low, if not any cost. And then we would also allow or have the ability to access the exercises, which not only can be physical, but mental, like breathing exercises, how to stay calm, and all those sorts of things.
All right, if that is all the questions that we have, then one more time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the group representing Ventor. All right, as we continue our pitches on how to improve mental health services for young adults, I'm going to get it right this time. Please welcome our next group, our second and final group in this area. They represent the Christmas Monastery School Online. They are the group known as Town Square Acoustic Dome.
As a nun of the Russian Orthodox Church, and in my unique apparel here, I don't see anyone else wearing something as unique other than my principal here, Miss Nancy, representing Eric, who is our student entry. And I'm here for Eric because Eric has unique challenges. We are broadcasting, okay. I'm here for Eric Williams, a student who has unique challenges that we can all learn from. Because Eric represents a part of our population that has not only touched my heart, but it has enlightened my mind with being the longest term music teacher and nurse in Orange County, working for the city under Mayor Glenda Wood. And there, under a mayor who understood about art and music, we were able to dance and sing and have a lot of fun. And that's what I think, in my mind, what MedNex should be. Because as a nurse, I worked the 11 to 7 shift. And our team leader, when I was in ICU at 18 years old, we sang throughout the night. And we also learned how to communicate with clients in comas. So it was nothing unusual for me to be in Florida Hospital training as a chaplain in Orlando and an obsessive music teacher to at 2 o'clock take my keyboard, and the kids are all busy, and use it with a client 10 years old who insurance was saying, time to go. But she hadn't woken up out of her surgery. It's now 2.5 weeks or more. Nothing, no responses of an audible nature. Eric has audible responses and communicate, but she was in a coma, and her mom was an ICU nurse, and insurance was all gone. Or they were threatening, they were already beyond the time. And what was her outcome? To go to a health rehab, but not rehab, just a health, what I call the vegetable farm. Because there was no other options for her. And so I gave her a passive piano lesson. C, D, 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 D. Taking her hand on the keyboard, and the eyes start to open. That wasn't my first time that I had sung and someone came out of a coma, but that's another story that you'll have to look at my website for. But this is what I have wanted to bring to Palm Coast, because in Miami I helped start the nursing school at Mercy Hospital, and I want to be able to give back what I think Palm Coast needs and what I need. And with that, could we have the next slide? Or is that up to me? Okay, we get the next slide here. Okay, so you see there something that looks like notes on a page. Well, Professor Nancy and I have over 1,000 pieces of curricula ready to roll. And here's what some of it sounds like. And part of our way to pay for what we want to do with Sound Health now and getting this acoustic dome and using telehealth is to have memorial bricks for our monastery in Corona, where I put a land contract down in February of 2020, so that we can remember those that passed before there was a vaccine available to us, and that we can remember those who have not had the opportunity to have the memorial and the celebration of their lives, because that's what I've been charged to do with. As a nun, I was trained by the Princess of Romania, whose mother was the start of the United Nations. And she wrote the cousins, King George in England in 1918, we have to stop killing each other. And that was the Paris Peace Conference, which led to the League of Nations, which led to the United Nations. But when she was ready to step in, they didn't want women. It was a wall. So what did they do? They put Dracula in her castle. And my spiritual mother said, "That's in my castle. That was my childhood play place." And she made that castle into a hospital, the hospital of the Queen's Heart. And that's the truth. And Draculization came before fake news. So when we use this telehealth and we train these young people, we have to train them in truth. So we have an educational program, and we have this opportunity to brain map our students, like Eric, that may not be able to tell us how they feel with COVID-19. I wasn't sure how I feel with COVID-19, but I'm part of the 45% over 60 that's a long hauler. So now we're signed up for research. And our music program gives lung health. And our acoustic dome gives the resonance the churches used to have. And we've signed up for a steel building that could get started with this at $25,000. And since you were here and allowed me this opportunity to speak, we've been given $25,000 to $35,000 worth of EEG equipment to do this brain mapping, of which, when we use it and the family physician can write the order for insurance, the cost of it out of insurance, half of it can come to us, that can get us started. So I thank all of you that you've created this innovation that's been long in my heart, and that Eric has helped to make, voice or no voice, that you can understand. Let us try to understand better those that need their voices heard and resound. Thank you. Yes,
Carol,
Mayor.
just a question. How long have you been working with Eric?
Very, very recently.
Okay.
Very recently. And my other students know me a little bit more from Orlando, and they kind of know the routine. I have students in Orlando that I would love to put into our promotional efforts, that is the Aqua Nutcracker. We have a musical that links Tchaikovsky with the first swimming pool in Flagler County as Florida's first swimming pool. And Miss Nancy, our pirate over here, she helped to promote that at Flagler Rehab, and she was the little girl that in the wheelchair, when she gets into the pool, she has mobility instead of under the tree in Germany. But we have students in the mix that want to come in, and we need a safe place, and that's what the Dome would offer, and that's what telehealth can offer now in our dual enrollment program, which is training people music and American history, music and world history, and they will be able to have college credits, and they will get help and soft skills in EHR, which is the electronic health records that we're working with. How I started the nursing school in Miami was I was the volunteer supervisor. And as volunteer supervisor, we had the largest volunteer program in all of Dade County, under the Sisters of St. Joseph and the two high schools that were on either side, and I was appointed not only to watch out what they do or don't do in the elevator, but we watched them, gave them time slips, we trained them. We even had volunteers in surgery. So when I went to the city of Orlando, who was the doctor that gave me my physical? One of the volunteers. So yes, Eric is sooner, but we bring a whole history here.
Thank you.
I think you've really expanded the use and really presented an innovative way to bring art and music therapy on an electronic platform, so thank you. My question is, are there competitors, are there any other products that are currently?
Right now, the research that we're signing up for long-term COVID, they're just putting together. I've been in touch with UCLA and the autistic center that they have, so that we can use that together with the COVID, because I've had trouble remembering things. This morning, this hand, I couldn't use the computer. It didn't bend. This thumb, let me get rid of this clicker. This thumb doesn't work. My thumb stopped working. And I almost panicked this morning because I couldn't go like this. I could only, it just didn't bend. It wasn't that it hurt, it just didn't work. So music and movement. I was baptized in the Serbian Orthodox Church, and we learned a language that we also danced to. We learned these words that we didn't hear our friends say, but we put it to movement. And that's what on the autistic spectrum, we can't keep putting something over their mouth to have them not speak. We need to encourage. Eric has a brother, Alex. I'm working on a song, Alleluia, because that was my daughter, Alexandra's first word. Kind of sounded like her name, but she had heard that around her. These students need you in the community to vibrate and to resound.
Thank you. This is a very interesting way to really overcome the geographic barriers that telehealth allows us to do. Thank you.
Yes, well, visit our website. You'll see my offshore friends. I sent that song that was up there to them. That was my modification of Handel's Psalm 111 that he used to get Messiah going. I simplified it, put it into 2 voices. I sent it to Kenya at 1:30 on a Sunday morning, went to bed. When I woke up, they had learned it and sent it back to me in a way that Eric could do it, just with 1 line. And they had processed the English words. We didn't quite, with our technology, get all that up here. Go to the website, you'll see other things.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very innovative presentation. Thank you one more time. The Town Square Acoustic Dome.
Sound Health now making music through telehealth. And I'm so happy you didn't tell us we could come to Town Square with the dome. But I wasn't going to be whatever.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we are right on schedule to have our final group, our 6th and final group. They are in the last content area. They stand alone here, ladies and gentlemen, in the area of, as I like to call it, bedside manner, which is very, very important this day and age. In the area of enhancing soft skills in healthcare, please welcome our 6th and final pitch team of the evening from Flagler Palm Coast High School, Doc Talk.
Hi everyone. We would like to thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'm Chloe Kazmarek.
I'm Madison Bianco.
And hello everyone. I am Natalie Quintanilla. We are here to present to you all our new innovative app, Doc Talk.
So our focus has been on the occurring issue of the lack of soft skills in healthcare. It is crucial for patients and their families to have pleasant bedside manner experiences that will make them feel comfortable and cared for. Doctors and nurses lack the skills of possessing courteous, respectful, and professional approaches to patients due to the fact that there are not soft skill courses in medical schools.
Doc Talk is a communication skills app that assists medical students as well as professionals who lack the basic and complex soft skills needed within their profession. Doc Talk is very convenient, accessible anywhere and anytime. What happened? Solutions in seconds, career enhancing, and easy to use. It is an app anybody in the US can access anywhere.
So our app, Doc Talk, consists of 2 versions. One being a free version that has a kindness vocabulary chart, a list of friendly and compassionate terms, scenario activities that pairs along with hands-on exercises, and also quizzes and exams, while the other one being a paid version that incorporates simulation videos and practices. In addition to the key feature of video calls with a skilled professional healthcare mentor. And it varies within your level of education and choice of medical field.
Our primary targets are going to be student MDs and student RNs. Our secondary target is working MDs and working RNs. We are starting with students and wanting to expand to working MDs and RNs.
So there are competitors in this area, which include Peninsula Communication Skills as well as Go Skills. Peninsula Communication Skills is free and healthcare focused, but does not provide one-on-one consultation. Go Skills, like similar apps, touches on soft skills, but includes long and expensive courses, is not healthcare related, and does not provide one-on-one consultation. Our app, DocTalk, is affordable, is focused on healthcare, and does offer individual virtual visits with a mentor.
The premium version of our app offers 4 separate prices depending on the user's role in healthcare. And we contain reduced pricings for students. How amazing is that? As well as we expand in the future, for working professionals, these prices will increase.
So our potential income. There are currently 300,000 medical students in the US. We have estimated that potentially 30% of these students will use our app, which would mean we would have 90,000 users. We are thinking that 20% of these users will buy our premium version.
And that brings us to the potential annual income of $2,682,000. And then we took 25% of the annual income to get the gross profit of $670,500.
In the future, DocTalk will incorporate the expansion of multiple languages and other types of healthcare professionals, as well as include in-app advertisements for our app's potential revenue stream.
Thank you for listening to our presentation on DocTalk, and we would now like to answer any questions you may have.
I like the topic that you chose because oftentimes doctors come across as being cold in their analysis with patients. I'm wondering if any of each of you have had that experience personally to spawn the idea as a business idea.
I personally have not, but our mentors that we spoke to, they work at the hospital, and they told us that they have many encounters. They know many doctors and nurses and know the experiences, and it's not, like, they're not having that comfortable experience with the patients. So, did you guys have any?
Very diplomatic.
I can relate to that.
I love the idea of the in-app advertisement. What type of advertisement do you foresee being included?
Anything with like medical, anything in the medical field, maybe medical schools, just to help the revenue of the app as well, and to maybe get more users and just advertisement to help them see the app.
So Flagler schools, we're looking for nurses. Will we be able to advertise in your app?
Yes.
I think this is a great idea. We think about where education has gone and what patient care needs are. And many times, you're right, it does start at the bedside with having a positive patient experience. And so I think this is a great app. Do you foresee perhaps ways that it can be embedded or be an adjunct into academic curriculum?
Yes,
So we were talking, and like medical schools could use our app, like, you know, like Schoology, things like that. It could be one of those, become one of those possibly in the future, so that schools have like, I don't know, it wouldn't, like, it could be an online class, kind of like, yeah, instead of just an app. So, yeah.
They would be able to practice on their own time too. They could practice it, say they're flying somewhere or they have to go meet a new patient. If they feel that they lack those skills and just need a little boost, they can practice it anywhere and anytime.
I think this is a great way to provide some extra coaching for bedside manner, and would love to see a healthcare workforce that all have that kind of Chick-fil-A personality. So
Yeah.
great idea. Great idea.
Thank you.
Give it up for Doc Talk, everybody.
This is going to be tough.
Well, I got to tell you, folks, we've heard a lot of really interesting, really tremendous pitches here today. And as someone who is a former professor in the area of health sciences, in exercise science specifically, hearing those first few pitches talking about preventative medicine and how important that is in chronic disease this day and age, as a father of 4 children and as a current teacher of teenagers, you see the mental health struggle. And of course, as someone who watches the world further embed themselves in technology and not have any soft skills whatsoever, these are all very, very important areas. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I'm not our judges, because they have their work cut out for them. And they're going to take about 10 minutes to go through and process everything they have heard here today as we get ready to award 3 groups with some scholarships based on what we have seen and heard here. So actually, that's going to take place out back. We've got a stage set up, and that is where our awards are going to be. So at this time, for all of our guests in the room, we're going to direct you guys out to that area while our judges go over everything they've seen and heard today. Good luck and Godspeed to them, and good luck to our candidates. But one more round of applause for all of our presenting groups today. These pitch teams were tremendous. We'll see you all outside with the results, everybody.
A $750 scholarship each. After much deliberation, the group taking home the 3rd place trophy tonight, LunaCare. Very well dressed lady. Appreciate it. Very nice.
Great job, girls. Good job. These are really big checks. Everybody gets one. Congratulations.
Let's get some photo ops here. There we go. That's LunaCare, everybody. One more time. Thank you, ladies, very much. Time to find out who our second place team is. This group will each be taking home a $1,250 scholarship. That's $1,250. Taking home second place, another round of big checks, everybody. It's the group known as Holodrone. Great job. Come on.
Yeah.
There we go. Holodrone, everybody. One more time. You know what that means? We got one more left. One more round of big fat checks. I'm talking fat checks here, folks. Each of these students is taking home a $1,500 scholarship. Quite the reward for their efforts here, but well deserved. Can I get a drum roll, please, everybody? Come on, let's have a little fun here. These kids are about to take home some serious college money. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners here tonight, in first place, the team known as Doc Talk. Come on, ladies, come on down. I need some prices right now. My DJ equipment's in the car. Step on over, ladies.
Well done. Well done.
Get those photos, everybody. They're good ones. We're going to invite all the teams up here, but on behalf of all of us here that have been involved with this, again, we want to thank all of our partners, Flagler Schools, the City of Palm Coast, of course, the Flagler County Education Foundation for helping to put this together, AdventHealth, Impower, and the UNF College of Computing, Engineering, and Construction. This has been the inaugural, first of many, that's what the hope is, UNF MedNexus Innovation Challenge. These ladies did a great job, and so did all of our students. We want them all to come up on stage, get some great photos, let's commemorate this event. Thank you all so much for joining us and being a part of it. My name's the young Professor Matt Draper. Thank you to Joe Rizzo and everybody for inviting me to be a part of it and see these tremendously talented students. Thank you all so much. Be safe out there. If you're heading to the Potato Bowl, the battle for Flagler County is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how it goes. Until next time, have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.